Всем доброго суток, с вами Kerrgan. Я продолжаю проходить птенчик. Zelda Light Summerset. В предыдущей серии мы выполнили квест дамы собачка и помогли даме одной избавиться от вредителей в саду. В этой серии мы пойдем на вот этот остров. О, дольмен. Иначе продолжим закрывать бреши. Я раз наше все равно занесло.
A breach near the sea. Ah, I do love the ocean. It's a shame you can only see it in 3 dimensions. All the quasi-tones and endless number forms. Actually, I take it back. Your meat brain would explode if you saw this.
Не успела, да? А ну раз что он тут. Раз мне сразу занесло сюда, давайте он где-то еще пройдут заодно вот этот дольмен. Мне вот эту шмоточки. Я очень надеюсь, что какую-нибудь мебель. То, о чем я кормлю свою мебель? На самом деле, я хочу тулванийской мебели, чтобы нагло скопировать идею моей знакомой, моей подруги хорошие. Мне очень нравится, как она оформила свой уютненький маленький домик босфорский.
Well done. But let's see how you fare next time.
Говорите, вы хорошо сделали. Посмотри-ка, в следующий раз справитесь. Я же справлюсь. Без всяких придурков. Посмотрим за ночью, что есть на этом острове интересного. Так, это игрокиня. Это лужа. О, какое чудесное море. Я бы хотела на море, но у меня не получится уже. Я в этом году ездила в Питер. Если еще отпуск у меня будет, скорее всего, в сентябре-ноябре. Более тур, который предлагает автобусом к морю, то, знаете, 2 суток в автобусе. Не поспишь, не походишь, ничего. Это же ужас. Я просто, мне нервы это не выдержат. Мне понадобится после этого еще один отпуск, чтобы от этого отойти. Потому что я комфортабельный поезд, от комфортабельного поезда я, что вы знаете, ходил 2 дня. Но я от поезда в своей поездке 2-3 дня я отходила, поэтому я с отпуска фактически не отдохнула, получилось. Так, куда нам дальше? Открою эту. Опять эта фигня. Так. Блин, где? Секунду, я найду задание. Так. Остров, вот это вот город. Идем в город. Все, пошли, шасси. Вот около Сильдерварда этого, да? Или как его там? И какой-то квест. Сейчас, значит, что за квест нам предлагается. Надо залезть повыше и посмотреть. Если мишки были пчелами, то они бы никогда не сошли. Не подумали, так сколько делал квест. Сцена 4. Трезвый Торн.
Move along. There's nothing to see here. Wait. You're not one of those divine prosecution types, are you? You have to tell me if you are. Wait, what am I thinking? There's no way they'd let you into their ranks.
Двигайся, здесь нет чего интересного. Что, стой, так ты не из этих, из божественного обвинения? Типа божественного обвинения, не так ли? Если ты из них, то скажи мне. Подожди, дай подумать. Вот это вот, не знаю, последнее, скажи себе.
They call me Soberstorm. And yes, I realize that is an odd name for a Nord. Make no
Странно для
mistake,
Норда.
I still enjoy a strong brew.
Наслаждайся над этим. Почему они могут вас позвать? Шо?
There was another Storm in my village.
Их было
Stone
много.
drunk at all hours of the day. He once fell in a mead tank and had to drink his way out. Practically a village hero after that. I was just sober in comparison.
Короче, его назвали так, потому что второй был бухой. Сияющий клинок капитана Карасила. Кто из капитана Карасил? Доктор младший.
Enter a mysterious stranger to a little circle of mystery. Mind the cadaver, or should I say, the cadaver. Forgive a thespian his morbid humor.
Вот это не знаю почему, когда расскажи о себе.
I am called Drokagir, after my father. He was a man of girth, you see. Mother required some way to separate us, and so the epithet lesser was given to me. Of course, you'll find most to be a lesser man than Drokagir the Lesser, especially when it comes to acting.
Так что ты представляешь за представленец, наверное?
Yes, most ardently so. I've graced many of Skyrim's stages. Once I've obtained my wealth, I'll visit the House of Reveries. I suspect they'll demand I join them once they've caught wind of my talent.
До свидания. Я вас не понимаю. Трупешник. Вы кого-то убили? И Джека укушенной крысой. Замечательное имя.
You walk in here on three skivers arguing over a dead body and decide you want to chat with one of them? You either got some kind of guts or you're some kind of stupid. Either way, maybe you can help.
Что здесь произошло?
A family squabble of sorts. You see, one of these cozies went and killed Vereda. Problem is, none of us are about to go treasure hunting. There's a murderer at our back. When killing for gold, you don't stop at one. Ancestor of ours, Jadil the Keelhauler, cached her loot around here. If you grab the chest for us, there's no chance for a sneak attack. The map over there will lead you right to it. And obviously, I'll pay you for the trouble.
Это соберет сундуки сокровищ для вас, короче.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Look at these squabbling fools. Why don't I just take the treasure myself?
Расскажи мне про
The
гладил.
only thing that will crack the chest open is the blood of Jadil's descendant. Thus, you'll need one of us.
Расскажи это про Гралхилд
She
ППП.
was an explorer. Sailed from Atmora all the way to Yakura, despite half her crew falling mad along the way. She discovered new lands, new cultures. Shame so few hear of her. Her greatest adventure was raiding the palace of King Ognum himself.
Короче, была она крутой приключенкой. Что там за сокровища?
Right you are. Fled Piandonea after, quick as a flash. Pa said the whole Miramore fleet came after her. Eventually, they chased her right to this cove. She fled to the shore, clutching a single chest of treasure.
Она их
The
зачаровал, да?
blood of my blood willingly given. That's how the enchantment goes.
Расскажи о
You see,
себе,
Jadil
короче.
wanted to settle down, have a few brats of her own. So, the story was passed
Расскажи
along,
давай себе.
waiting for a descendant. I'm known as Igeki Ratbite. It would serve you well to not forget that name, given that I'll one day have a legacy as epic as Jadil herself.
Почему тебя зовут? И Джека укушенная крысой.
You saw my face, right? I got bit by a rat.
Это крыса сделала?
It was a big rat. Don't worry, it's dead now.
До свидания. Да, это была очень большая
Well,
крыса.
someone had to kill her. Vereda didn't just up and die at the tender age of 28.
Stop squawking, you fat netch! You're just as likely the one that killed her.
Короче, где
I did
башня?
this then, when you're the one
Пойдемте
greedier than a
найдем
starving
сундук.
worker?
This is going nowhere. We'll never
Пока не спорят, мы пойдем соберем их сундук. Здесь он тоже трупешек чей-то лежит. И сейчас такие бутылочки. Классное место. Могли бы положить мне... Я вообще не на это шла. Потом. Все, потом. Дайте завершу, конечно, квест псиджиков. Идут завершить квест псиджиков или нет? Так. Ну да, это рядом, но... Все, вот сюда, все. Их я завершу потом. Самое обидное будет сейчас 100%. Вот, видишь что? Я проверю, это все будет переведено, да. Так. Мне нужно в сторону дерева. Бесковарный злодей и не любит людей. Вон бес летает. А Джида он тоже, кстати, не любит.
This breach is in a zoo. Wow. You know, I'm endlessly fascinated by animals. A bit like walking plants, eh? Except with more, you know, fluids. Ugh, what a word that is.
Lotus, where are you, precious?
Таламар, здрасте.
You've picked a bad day for a stroll in the park. Something's got into the animals. They're running wild, frenzied. I don't suppose you saw an Indrik on your way here, a tame one? She's my charge, and pride of the Queen's menagerie. I need to find her.
Валерий, что это за место?
The Royal Menagerie. It holds exotic species from all over Tamriel. Now they're running loose, attacking the keepers and each other. It's a slaughter. It's too dangerous for a gentle Indrik like Lotus. Please, can you help me search for her?
Ты уверен, что он не опасен, как остальные?
Oh, Lotus has only ever known kindness. Gentle as a lamb. I hand-reared her from birth. She fled in the chaos, but she won't make it on her own. I have to find Lotus before she's hurt. Or worse.
Это поможет тебе найти твоего Индрика.
This is the only place she's ever known. She won't have wandered far. I hope.
Там не осталось смотрителей, которые могли бы нам помочь.
I didn't see anyone else come this way, but I hope the others made it to safety. I'd rather not dwell on the alternative. If anyone's still in peril, we should lend our aid.
Есть соображение, как всем этим животным удалось сбежать.
I wasn't at the epicenter of it all. I was about to feed Lotus when I started hearing the animals in a frenzy, yowling and slamming against their pens. Once the mammoths broke free, the whole place came apart at the seams. Total pandemonium.
А кого именно мы ищем? Ашаси не слишком много знает об Индриках.
Indriks vaguely resemble deer, but you'd never mistake the two. Their horns and antlers sparkle like crystal, and their fronds and feathers are vibrant in any light. When Jeffers spun their shape, he made a tapestry of all life.
Почему ты беспокоишься не больше, чем остальных?
I raised her from a fawn, watched her grow up. I can't imagine losing her this way. And the Queen would never forgive me. She and Lotus were inseparable, until the duties of the crown called her away. I made a vow to care for Lotus in her stead.
Лотос была питомицей короля Ирен?
A gift from the sovereign to his daughter when she was barely knee-high. Before she became queen, Her Highness spent many a day frolicking through the royal menagerie with Lotus. Hard to imagine now, I know.
Нифига себе, долгоживущие существа. Так. Я, конечно, дико извиняюсь, но, наверное, у меня немножко другой квест. Должен был быть. Ладно. Идем пробуем найти этот лотос, раз мы сюда зашли. У меня время еще есть. Мамонт. Да, просто защитники природы были, наверное, возмущены. Чудесное место. А, вон моя это... Ну, мужик. Сейчас не время спать. Мужик, сейчас не время спать. Отстань, Лёва. точно нужно сложить здесь брешь? Я теперь Сумmerset облажу. Нет, это немножко не она. Это достаточно вкусная штука. Шатер. Мне, по-моему, из него рецепт давали.
This is the only place she's ever known. She won't have wandered far. I hope.
Ну вот, мы смотрим это место. Еда.
Find something?
Я нашла еду.
I don't see any new tracks. She didn't try returning to the enclosure. Find anything that might put us on her trail?
Никаких следов лотоса, но корм у нее в загоне выглядит как-то подозрительно.
Huh. Let me see that. Smells off. Starting to turn color too. It shouldn't have gone bad so quickly.
Могло ли это как-то повлиять на зверей?
I've never seen an animal react so violently to spoiled food, and nothing this tainted would have passed our inspections. I think something was added, probably close to feeding time.
Никогда не видела, что животные озверевали с испорченной еды. И он думает, что что-то какие-то проблемы со временем, что ли, другой смотритель?
No, it couldn't be. We care for these animals like they were our kin. No one I know would harm one of these poor creatures, let alone do something like this.
Лотос не ела, это верно?
No, thank the gods. I just deposited it here when the trouble started. I don't think she'd graze on any now that it's become foul, but I'd rather not risk it. We should keep searching. I believe she ran off that way before we lost track of her.
Если вы ее не съели, это очень грустно. А вон ее жопа торчит как. Или не ее.
Sometimes graze on these trees. Look around and let me know if you find anything.
Дохлый мамонт. Мамонт.
What did you find there?
Дохлого мамонта.
I don't see any sign of her here. Did you find anything?
Тут мамонт обрушил стены, судя по всему, он дрался с нее головой.
Stars! I've seen wild mammoths charge the enclosure walls, but they usually give up pretty quickly. I've never seen one driven to battering itself to death. Not by anger, not even by panic.
Он мог быть заражен?
That would be an explanation, but it came on so suddenly. It seemed to afflict all the animals at once. Except Lotus. She was spooked, but not aggressive.
Нужно
I
продолжать
hope that's still the
поиски.
case. Did you hear that? Someone's in trouble. This way.
Бежать на крик, квест. Замечательный квест. Ну, подстадия. Стой! Стой, неугомонная.
Thought I was a goner, like the others. Those lions crept up on me while I was distracted. Thought I was done for. Who are you, anyway? Some friend of Talamar's?
Нет, Таламар просил нам помочь найти своего Индрика по кличке Лотос. Ты ее не видела?
He came back to find Lotus? I know he takes his duty seriously, but that's insane. I think I saw her drinking by the reflecting pool, but she's skittish. Bolted the second she saw me passing by. Good luck catching her.
Тебе лучше держаться с нами. Тут одной находиться опасно.
No thanks. I appreciate the help, but I'm not sticking around to herd Indrix in this mess. I'm getting out of here before I wind up something's lunch. You should do the same.
О, логично. А шась будет в порядке.
Good luck with your Indrik hunt, Talamar. Try not to get killed.
Elise, wait! We need to stay together! Damn it. Let's hope we have better luck with Lotus.
Искать около бассейна.
So much for enlisting the help of other keepers. I just hope Elise's encounter with the lions will make her more cautious. Running off like that isn't a promising start. What was her hurry, anyway?
Кто она?
Sorry, didn't seem the time for an introduction. Elise is one of the junior keepers. She really cares for the animals, but she's only got about 10 years under her belt. She shouldn't be working alone. Must have gotten separated from her tutor.
Она всегда так груба.
She was probably still in shock. Elise has always been a sweet and diligent caretaker, though she has been distant lately.
Ты сказала, что она здесь уже 10 лет, и она все еще младшая смотрительница?
Of course, with some talented exceptions, the average apprenticeship period is 50 years. If we only dealt with local species, 10 years might be within the realm of possibility, but not here.
Ну, знаешь, она так откинется, она не успеет стать этой. Более старшей смотрительницы просто не успеет. Вот она.
There she is! Lotus! After her!
Стой! Стой! Стой, говядина! Стой, свинина! Стой, оленина! Стой, рясина! Стой, курятина, индюшатина, гусятина и прочие звери!
So, you managed to teach it some discipline after all.
Какая она хорошенькая!
The royal menagerie is closed to the public at the moment. What are you doing here?
Таламар попросил меня помочь искать его Индрика.
His Indrik? You mean the royal family's Indrik? Every animal here is property of the crown. He would be wise to remember that before his personal attachment interferes with his duties.
Что теперь будет с Лотос?
Regard shall be secured in the inner paddocks until order is restored. This act of sabotage will not be easy to recover from. You claim you arrived after the incident?
Я нашла Таламара неподалеку отсюда. Он искал Лотос. Это искала.
I believe you.
Нашла.
Whoever drugged today's feed supply knew too much about our procedures to have been an outsider. You may go, but I want you off my grounds. Talamar can escort you out, since watching Lotus seems too much for him.
Шась поняла.
Talamar, take your new friend here. Your departure wasn't a request.
But Lotus... Yes, Conservator. Sorry about all this. I just want you to know that even if the Conservator doesn't appreciate your efforts, I am truly grateful for your help.
А кто это был? Твоя начальница?
Conservator Vinalora. She's the appointed curator of the royal menagerie. All the keepers and rangers serve at her pleasure. I wouldn't take it personally. She's not one for niceties under the best of circumstances.
Почему он выгнал в свое время критической ситуации?
If she really believes a keeper is responsible for sabotaging the menagerie, I can't say I blame her. I can hardly believe it, but it's the only explanation that makes any sense.
Кого-нибудь подозреваешь?
Gods, no. I've worked with everyone here for decades. I just hope Vinalora catches the monster. Thank you again for helping me keep Lotus from harm.
Рад была помочь.
Over here. We need to talk.
I thought you had already left. What are you doing sulking around here?
I didn't want to get you too involved, but I need help and there's no one else I can turn to. I was the one who drugged the animals. The plan wasn't for them to break loose, just stir up a fuss so I could slip into the conservatory unnoticed.
И что ж там такого, что стоило устроить такой разгром?
Evidence. The menagerie is a facade. The ugly truth behind Sylvar Woad isn't so pretty. There are entire sections blocked off from most of the keepers. Vinalora and her rangers guard them like a vault. The animals they take there never come back.
И больше никого не вызывает подозрений?
People who question Vinalora don't last here. If she claims the animal is a risk of some kind, it's just quarantined in the inner paddock, never to be seen again. Something terrible is going on, and I mean to expose it. Help me prove that.
Ладно, если ты говоришь правду, Ашасе нужно видеть все собственными глазами.
It's going to take a lot more convincing for Talamar, I can tell. I don't know that he'll ever forgive me for the mess I've made here, but maybe you can get him to hear me out?
Ты ведь не просто смотрительница, не так ли?
I'm a spy for the Queen. I mean, I was a keeper first, but when the Queen asks you to serve, you serve. She asked me to keep an eye on Vinalora before she left for her coronation, but the conservator has stonewalled my advancement.
На тебя заподозрил?
To her, I'm just some uppity Nebara trying to rise above my station. But once it became clear I wasn't going to get into her good graces, I had to improvise.
Это еще не
We
конец.
see how well? Yeah, I'm not going to let the Queen down. I gave her my word.
У тебя есть мысли по поводу того, что может ждать нас в кураторской?
All I know is, healthy animals are disappearing, and her story doesn't add up. She could be selling them to wealthy Altmer to line her own pockets, or even butchering them to sell their parts to craft workers.
На твоих руках много крови. Думаешь, что сможешь жить прощение Таламара?
I don't know. More than anything, I want to make sure it wasn't all for nothing. If I can find the proof that Vinalora is abusing these animals, then maybe it will have been worth it, and Talamar can at least understand why I took the risk I did.
Хорошо, я пробую с ним поговорить.
She poisoned all these animals. She almost poisoned Lotus. And for what? It's true that I've never seen an animal move to the inner paddocks that's returned to outer enclosures, but she's suggesting what? That the conservator is culling the herd.
Винерот сказал, что цветет лотос в внутренней вольере. Кому из них ты веришь больше?
I mean, this is a crisis. Lotus is the prize of the menagerie. She wouldn't... This is insane. You know that? What do you need from me?
Ты знаешь, как попасть в кураторскую?
It's a bit morbid, but I would search the bodies by the staff quarters near the main entrance. One of Vinalora's rangers might have had a key.
Хорошо, это поищет там.
All right, Elise, I'll help you. But if we don't find anything unusual in the conservatory, I'm turning you over to Vinalora myself.
Deal. If I'm crazy, go ahead and turn me in. But you know there is something going on here, Talmar.
Let's just get this over with.
Очень красивая локация. С кучей сбежавших львов. О, веселый баг. А у меня так не получится, потому что у меня нет лошадки. У меня есть лошадка, но я не пользуюсь лошадкой. Мне не нравится. Я не очень. Почему-то я в детстве не особо любил лошадей. Когда я смотрела по ней. Ну, это боже, них лошадям, как многие, ну, было такое, что многие девочки увлекались лошадками. У меня вот этого не было. Что еще? Лошадки, лошадки. Лошади и лошади. Мое любимое животное — это кошка. Где кот пумс мамонта выпал?
Did you find the keys? I'm feeling exposed out here.
Да, я нашла ключ. На шасси нашла.
Ew. What's that smell? It's coming from over here. I knew they were up to something here. Smells awful. Alchemical. This equipment isn't incriminating enough on its own, though. Vinalora could justify it for medicinal uses. We need to find evidence that can't be explained away so easily.
Есть здесь, что это может быть?
Samples, records, a test subject. Anything that proves without a doubt that the animals here are being used for something other than conservation. There's probably more upstairs.
Я думаю, дракончик есть. Репорт то кто-то там. Живые овцы, еще что-то, ослы.
Whoa, these poor creatures. Let's find out what Vinalora was doing with them. Hey, what are you reading over there? You found something important, didn't you? I could read it on your face from across the room. What's in those papers?
Ничего хорошего, сама посмотри.
Vinalora, you piece of... This is everything I need to prove she's been abusing her position here. I have to get this to the proxy queen.
Как же Лотус Таламар?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he deserves to know. Let's find him and get out of here before our luck runs out.
Хорошо.
This should be all I need. Where did Talamar wander off to?
Полез спасать Лотус свою, естественно.
Disobedience doesn't suit you, Talamar. Uncooperative animals don't last long here.
What have you done with Lotus, you monster?
I'd be more concerned for yourself right now.
It can't end here! There has to be something we can do to stop her!
Try something rash, and Talamar will sprout an arrow from the eye. You've all caused me enough trouble for one day.
Почему ты ставишь опыт на индриках?
They're a very special beast. revered even, as blessed beings who are as graced by the gods as we Ultima. They are a gift to our people, not found anywhere else in the world, and we have squandered their potential too long.
Для чего?
Maintaining our natural primacy. What else? The mongrels of Tamriel infest everything, even our unspoiled isles now. But their overgrowth can be curbed. They only need a natural predator. The Indrix will be our immortal Adric Avengers.
Ашаси, не позвольте продолжать эти опыты.
You're in no position to stop me. This enclosure is as strong as a fortress, and these barriers are impenetrable by even the Indrix' effortless teleportation. Surrender before my... What was that?
Что такое?
No! The wards! The Indrix will run wild!
Вот и конец с грандиозным планом.
Elise, I should have known you'd be behind this!
Good luck containing your experiments. We'll give your regards to the Queen.
This isn't over, mongrel! You'll all pay for this!
Vinalora must have been more shaken than she looked. She didn't hit anything vital, far as I can tell. I don't usually work on people, but if I can stitch up feuding a Chater, I can handle this.
Ашай собирается найти Лотос.
You can't be serious. There's nothing stopping Lotus from escaping on her own now. We've got what we need to bring Vinalora down. There's no reason to risk your life.
Ашаси обещал Таламару, что поможет убедить Лотос и собирается держать свое слово.
He's lucky to have found someone as foolish as he is. At least take my ward breaker, in case Vinalora reactivates the cages. I'll get Talamar out of harm's way. Good luck, all right?
You can save Lotus. I believe that with every fiber of my being. Bring her back safe.
Так, он бородатый там, да. Дайте я вас заскринюсь, если я буду вас зарисовывать.
Hang on, Talamar. We'll get you out of here.
Так, ты не тот Индрик, ты не тот Индрик.
Let's find out.
Пошли, Лотос.
Lotus! She's all right! Thank Sheffer! Oh, thank you!
Damn it, Talamar! You're going to reopen that wound.
Ой, как это мило.
It's so good to see Lotus alive and well. I couldn't stop thinking of her, scared and injured, or worse. If Vinalora had turned her into some kind of monster, I swear! We should flee before Vinalora and her rangers come after us.
Вильнилор мертва. Она пыталась убить Ашаси с помощью одного из своих творений.
Gods, that's terrible. I won't shed tears over Vinalora. She had to be stopped. But I'm so sorry you have her blood on your hands.
Как-то.
I guess with the conservator gone, there's no one in charge of trying to get this place back in order. It'll all come apart by the time the proxy queen allocates a replacement.
Этим мог бы заняться
If she
ты.
allocates a replacement. Me? Run the menagerie? I'd love to see it put back the way I remember it. But will it ever be the same now that I know what was really happening here? I could just take Lotus and put all this behind us.
Ты должен остаться, тогда ты сможешь проследить, чтобы животные заботились как следует.
Yes, I know myself well enough to know I would be miserable just abandoning this place. I've poured so much of my life into it. Maybe I can do some good here. Change the way these animals are treated.
Не могу представить себе никого, кто поступил бы лучше.
These animals deserve better than to be left to fend for themselves. I owe them that much. I'll do everything I can for them. You have my word.
Мог бы это
Don't
дать.
suppose I could declare it a wildlife preserve and leave the animals to roam freely, could I? I'm going to have my work cut out for me getting this place back in order.
Что делать в первую очередь, став куратором?
I'll take Lotus and try to find other survivors who escaped the chaos. Convincing them to return won't be easy, but I'm certain I can get at least a few other keepers and rangers to follow my lead. After that, a whole lot of wrangling.
Как думаешь, подчиненные Винилоры доставят тебе какие-нибудь неприятности?
She's gone, and their operation is in shambles. I don't see why they'd stick around. But I'll be sure to burn their research at the first opportunity. Nothing like that will ever happen again under my watch.
Когда это искал Лотос, на нее напали другие индрики. Это нормально?
Wild Indriks are aggressive towards things they perceive as threats. Even if Vinalora hadn't given them her vile serums, they couldn't have been happy about being penned up like cattle. There may be hope for them, if the legends are true.
Что ты имеешь в виду?
It is said that when Indrik die, their souls don't leave Mundus. Instead, Jeffra plants them back into the land to sprout again as reborn fawns. If it's true, you think they remember their old lives?
Если
I
так,
like to believe Lotus will remember me.
если это так, то они запомнят то, что с ними створила Винилора.
Then I do hope they forgive us for her transgressions. I'll do my best to make it up to any others I meet.
Как дела с Элизой?
She endangered every living thing here with the stunt she pulled. It'll be days before we know the final toll of stopping Vinalora. I know Elise did this for the right reasons, but I don't know that I can forgive her for all this bloodshed.
Она совершила ошибку, но ведь она не раз спасла жизнь тебе и Лотос.
That's what makes it hard. Everything worked out for me. It's not my grudge I'm holding on to. It's theirs. All those innocent lives. She's a good person, but I'm going to need time.
До свидания. Блин, такая классная. В перышках. Мне нравится. Элиза?
I was going to recommend that the Queen shut this place down when I gave my report. But if Talamar thinks he can rebuild it into a place where the animals come first, I bet I can make the promotion stick.
Что будешь
He
делать
was
теперь?
always her favorite keeper.
Что ты теперь будешь делать?
I'll head to Alinor to present my findings to the proxy queen and send a letter to Queen Irene. After that, I don't know. I'm not really much use to either of them now. I guess a life of tending stables is all I'm really suited for.
Мне кажется, хорошо тебе рекомендовала. Все, что не по плану, но работу ты выполнила. Шаси, кажется. Так, а Шаси?
You think? It was you who wound up doing most of the work. But I guess I did a pretty good job of sabotaging everything. Maybe I have a new calling in breaking things.
Таламару пригодилась бы твоя помощь здесь.
I suppose I do owe him for the mess I made. Assuming he'll even trust me around another animal, I'll consider it. One way or another, I'll get him the help he needs. Promise.
До свидания. Давайте я на этой радостной ноте закончу данную серию. Так, секунду. Время. Ага, как раз время подошло. Всем спасибо за внимание. Ставим лайки, подписываемся на канал, оставляем комментарии. Всем пока-пока.